Most men think attraction is built through words, compliments, texts, grand gestures. But the truth is, a mature woman remembers something far more dangerous. Touch. Not aggressive touch. Not obvious touch. The kind that quietly enters her emotional memory and stays there long after the moment is over. Because when a woman has lived enough life, experienced enough attention, heard enough empty charm, she no longer responds to surface-level effort the way younger women might. She responds to emotional safety, presence, restraint, intention, and certain touches communicate, all three without saying a single word. But here is what most men never realize. A mature woman is constantly reading emotional meaning beneath physical behavior. She notices how calm you are, how patient you are, whether your touch feels rushed or grounded, whether it feels needy or masculine. That is why some men touch a woman constantly and create absolutely no emotional pull, while another man barely touches her at all, yet leaves her thinking about him for days. And one specific type of touch we'll talk about later often creates the deepest emotional desire of all, not because it is seductive on the surface, but because of what it silently communicates underneath. The first touch mature women never forget is the reassuring touch during emotional tension. This is the moment most men completely fail to understand. When a woman is stressed, overwhelmed, frustrated, or emotionally guarded, many men try to fix the moment with logic, jokes, or excessive talking. But mature women are not always looking for solutions. Sometimes they are watching for emotional steadiness, a calm hand on her shoulder during a difficult moment, a gentle touch on her back while she is speaking, can communicate something words never fully can. I'm here. I'm not shaken by your emotions. And this is where everything changes. Because mature women are deeply sensitive to emotional pressure. They instantly feel when a man becomes reactive, needy, impatient, or uncomfortable around emotion. But calm physical reassurance creates the opposite effect. It lowers her defenses without forcing intimacy. Most men underestimate how powerful emotional calmness becomes when expressed physically, and that leads to the second touch she never forgets. The protective guiding touch, not controlling, not possessive, subtle. The light touch on her lower back while walking through a crowded place. The gentle guidance through a doorway. The instinctive movement that quietly says, I'm paying attention to you. That is only the surface. The deeper reason this affects mature women so strongly is because emotional attraction is often tied to how safe she feels around masculine energy. And safety is not weakness. Most men confuse softness with passivity, but mature women are usually drawn toward grounded strength, presence without force. A small protective gesture can awaken feelings she doesn't even consciously expect, especially because so many men today either become overly passive or aggressively perform masculinity in obvious ways. But subtle guidance feels natural, controlled, quietly confident, and mature women notice that immediately. Now here's where many men misread female behavior completely. When a mature woman lightly touches you first, she is often testing emotional openness, not just physical attraction. Which brings us to the third unforgettable touch. The lingering touch during conversation. This one is incredibly misunderstood. A mature woman may briefly touch your arm while laughing, hold contact for one extra second, or allow her hand to remain near yours during silence. Most men either panic internally or overreact externally, but emotionally intelligent. Men understand something deeper is happening. Touch becomes meaningful when comfort and emotional tension exist at the same time. That combination is rare, and when she allows prolonged physical closeness without withdrawing, she is often signaling emotional receptivity beneath the surface. But here's what most men never realize. The real attraction is not created by the touch itself. It is created by how you respond to it. If you become too eager, you break the emotional tension. If you become stiff or uncertain, the emotional rhythm collapses. But calm eye contact, relaxed energy, and controlled confidence amplify the moment, emotionally. This is why some interactions feel unforgettable, despite almost nothing happening physically. The emotional undercurrent becomes stronger than the action itself, and that leads to one of the most emotionally powerful touches of all. The forehead touch, strange, isn't it? Not dramatic, not flashy, not overly sexual, yet mature women often remember this deeply. Why? Because it feels emotionally intimate without demanding anything, a gentle touch against her forehead, especially during a quiet moment, creates a feeling many women secretly crave but rarely admit openly. Emotional closeness without pressure. Most men rush toward intensity, but mature women are often moved more by emotional restraint than obvious pursuit. That is the hidden truth. A man who can create emotional warmth without constantly chasing validation feels rare, and rare creates emotional impact. Now pay attention to this next one carefully, because this is where deep emotional desire often begins. The fifth touch is the handhold during silence, not during excitement, not during celebration. Silence. Because silence reveals emotional comfort more than words ever can. Most people use conversation to manage tension, to fill space, to avoid vulnerability. But when a woman feels emotionally safe holding your hand in complete silence, something deeper is happening psychologically. Her nervous system is relaxing around you. That matters more than most men understand. A mature woman has experienced attraction before, attention before, chemistry before, but emotional peace, that becomes unforgettable. And this is where everything changes for many men watching this, because attraction is not always about creating excitement. Sometimes the strongest emotional desire is created by becoming the one place she emotionally exhales, the one presence that does not drain, the one interaction that feels calm instead of chaotic. Most men spend their energy trying to impress women. Very few understand how powerful emotional relief can become. Now let's go even deeper. The sixth touch, mature women never forget, is the unexpected, affectionate touch after emotional distance. This one is dangerous because of the emotional contrast involved. Imagine tension, misunderstanding, a period of emotional space. Then suddenly, warmth returns, a soft touch on her hand, a quiet embrace, fingers brushing gently against hers after emotional distance. That contrast creates emotional intensity, because humans emotionally remember changes more than consistency, and mature women especially notice when affection returns without ego, manipulation, or emotional games. But here's the deeper reason this matters. It signals emotional maturity. Most men react to distance with anger, withdrawal, or pride, but emotionally, grounded affection after tension communicates strength without emotional punishment. And women remember how men make them feel during emotionally fragile moments far more than men realize. Now finally, we arrive at the touch that creates the deepest emotional desire of all. The face touch. Not frequent, not forced, intentional. The slow moment where a man gently touches her face while looking directly into her eyes. Why is this so powerful? Because the face is emotionally vulnerable territory. This is not casual attraction anymore. This communicates attention, presence, emotional focus, and mature women are deeply affected by focused emotional energy, especially in a world where attention has become shallow, distracted, and temporary. But here's what most men miss completely. This touch only becomes powerful when it feels emotionally earned. If attraction has not been built emotionally, the moment feels uncomfortable. But when emotional tension, trust, calmness, and connection already exist, this simple gesture can feel overwhelming in the best possible way, because it silently says something many women desperately want to feel but rarely hear. Authentically, I see you, not just physically, emotionally. And mature women never forget moments where they genuinely feel emotionally seen. That feeling stays with them long after the interaction ends, long after the conversation fades, long after the night is over. So if you take anything from this video, understand this. The touches mature women remember are rarely the most aggressive or obvious ones. They are the touches connected to emotional meaning, safety, calmness, attention, presence, restraint, emotional steadiness. Most men focus only on physical escalation, but emotionally intelligent. Attraction works differently. The real power is not in touching more. It is in making the moment emotionally felt. Because mature women are not simply responding to physical contact, they are responding to the emotional experience attached to it. And once a woman emotionally associates your presence with safety, depth, calm desire, and emotional tension, you stop becoming forgettable. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and keep watching, because the next video reveals the subtle behaviors mature women use when they are emotionally attached but trying not to show it.